The Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game has over 10,000 unique cards for players to collect, trade, and construct their own personal decks. But what would happen if players only had access to the bare minimum? In this series, both the TheRJB0 and myself will each open a very select amount of sealed product. Once we open that product, we must build a deck using only those specific cards pulled, that's it. And at the end of each episode, we discard the entirety of our pulls to the graveyard and start from scratch with a new product. Every card counts. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Sealed Showdown. If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code CIMOOOOO5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content. So I've essentially abandoned all hope of winning the series ever again at this point. I just don't know what's going on. Robert is on an absolute tear. We need to get the fuck out of 5Ds. And thankfully, this is the last set before we go on to Zexal and Xyz monsters. But I think we're going to be ending 5Ds with a bang. Gold Series 4 has a lot of really powerful cards that we typically don't have access to in this series. So this is going to be a fantastic episode. If you've never seen a Gold Series episode before, each pack has 25 cards in it. 3 of these, I believe, are gold rares, unless they've changed the ratios, but we only get to open 5 packs of this. So you're going to see a lot of duplicates aside from the gold rares, but the gold rares are what make this set. So pack number 1, flip it up just like that. This is what we want. BLS and Chaos Sorcerer in the gold rare slot. Huge bombs that are potentially massive for this set. Pot of Avarice is a fantastic card as well if the games go long enough. Mormalith is actually like a board wipe, which is pretty sick, so that's something we should consider. Skull Dice is non-ironically, I think, maybe a decent battle trick in this set, and so this is something we have to consider too. Sword of Dark Rites, I think, is a playable equip spell, potentially, depending on the way our deck looks. Radiant Jral is a 2k defender, so that's something that we always have to account for. Whitehorn Dragon is a tribute monster, and I think the set has Soul Exchange as well. So if we can nab Soul Exchange, that's a way to actually remove some of the high just statted monsters that we may be facing to be able to sack them for stuff like Whitehorn Dragon and some of the other cards in here. Graceful Dice is another card that can be used in tandem like with Skull Dice, just as another battle trick. We have a bunch of fusion substitute cards that I don't think are particularly good. Robin Goblin's a very scary card, but a bit high rolly. And then up here at the top, there's the Soul Exchange. Happy to see that. Fairy Lily's a way that can actually just hit over any big monsters that we're staring down. Goddess of Whim is very funny. This is not the pre-errata version where you can just flip it multiple times and just make it infinite attack theoretically. So it can get to 1900, but you have to get lucky with the coin flips. And then Prometheus isn't a terrible card either. So as you can see, there's a lot of fun stuff in this set.
Well, so continues my win streak, despite my best efforts. But you know what they say. 33% of the duels you are going to play, you are destined to lose. 33% you are destined to win. What matters is the other third, which is the ones where it could go either way. Last week was one of those ones I was destined to win. This one could be a little bit more dicey. This is a weird set, but I intend to close out our last episode of 5Ds by solidifying my win streak. Let's see what we can pull. All right, pack number 1. We've got some good stuff right off the bat. Arguably, one of the best gold rares in the set is Raiko the Lightsworn Hunter. Just an extremely versatile card, one of the few pieces of removal we gain access to in this set. And Doom Caliber Knight, just a 1900, a beefy guy. Toon Table of Contents arguably also is really good depending on the toon lineup that we get. We also got Soul Exchange, which is crucial. Graceful Dice, which is hilariously necessary in this set. Deck Dev, which is pretty good depending on what Cimo gets. Prometheus is good. Diabolos is good. Skull Dice is the other big thing that we have in the set that arguably is back row. And Injection Fairy Lily, just a good opening across the board in our first pack.
All right, pack number 2. Show me some good gold rares. Show me some good gold rares. Wow, those are actually terrible. Avarice, again, isn't the worst, but I don't know how often we're going to be resolving Avarice in a series like this. You guys saw how difficult it was to get monsters into the grave when we had, like, the Blackwing episode, but at the same time, I guess it's a little bit different because we actually have some good cards this time. Celestia, I don't think is good because I think we need to tribute a Lightsworn for its effect, so I think there are actually just better cards than this to be able to play. There are cards like Eternal Drought and Eradicating Aerosol, but I don't even think there are cards to kill anything with these, so that's kind of funny. We got another Mormolith, we got another Soul Exchange, another Graceful Dice. Deck Devi might be new. I forgot if we got that last time. We definitely got Prometheus, another Robin Goblin. There's the Aerosol, another Skull Dice. Zing Zen Who's important because this is like spell and trap removal because it just potentially stops something. Lich Lord, King of the Underworld, I think might be one of the better Soul Exchange targets just because it's kind of big. And Genesis Dragon might be okay as well depending on the way our deck looks, but we need to make sure we have lights and darks for the BLS and the Chaos Sorcerer, so we're gonna have to have some quantity of those somewhere.
All right, pack number 2. Those are pretty good ones. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. That is the best gold rare that we can get. Morphing Jar is also great, as is Trapstun. We got our second Soul Exchange, and the funniest card that you can tribute summon off of Soul Exchange, Millennium Shield. Extremely difficult to get over in this set because our monsters are all dinky as hell. Injection Fairy Lily is one of the few ways that we have to get over that, and it is in here. So we've got our 2 IFLs, we've got 2 Soul Exchange. Let's get that third. Zing Zen Who, also extremely good.
Oh, pack number 3, come on, show me the gold rares, show me the gold rares. Oh my god, Morphing Jar, Trapstun, Titanial is kind of like whatever. I think we can pass on that. But these 2 are huge. Morphing Jar to refill our hand if we're in a desperate situation. Trapstun to be able to stop anything like Skull Dice and the like. It probably would be used in damage steps, so we'd have to probably flip it preemptively. But if we're wanting to make sure we connect, that's probably good enough. I think that's our first Diabolos in case we want to go that route. Another Fairy Lily, Zing Zen Who, Mormolith, Sword of Dark Rites. Thinking if there's anything else relevant. Lich Lord, we have Prometheus, Skull Dice, Geralt. Looking pretty good so far. I think at this rate, we've got almost playsets of all the commons we want. So I think now we just need some good gold rares to round out our pulls.
All right, pack number 3. This set is treating us pretty well. I mean, what can I say? I'm just too good at Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm just too good. Titanial is probably garbage in this set. Just putting that out there because we don't have any other plants to work with reasonably. There's our 3rd IFL. We did not get our 3rd Soul Exchange in this one yet, but there is definitely still time. Whitehorn Dragon, also really good alongside Genesis Dragon to set up for our Blackluster. Whoo! 2 Blackluster, not terrible.
Pack number 4, let's see what we get. And Obelisk the Tormentor is insane. If we could pull that off, that would just basically mean that we win the game regardless of whether or not we actually win the game. That's our 3rd Avarice, unfortunately. And this is our first copy of Spy. This really sucks because if we actually had a second copy, this would be infinitely better. At the very least, it's a 2K Defender, and it is a Dark, so for Chaos Energy, this is fine. I need to look into Orichalco Shuneros as well, because I think this actually might be playable in this set, which is terrifying to think. As you can see, everything else here is just stuff we've already pulled up until this point. Let's just get into the last pack.
All right, pack number 4. I mean, I don't imagine it can get better than... Yeah, this is about what I expected. Summoner Monk, Trapstun, 5-headed Dragon. Just about the worst series of gold rares I could have gotten here. There are quite a few spells in here, which means that it is pretty easy to get our Summoner Monk online, but what does that really accomplish for us is the big question. Without any level 4 tuners, to my knowledge, I don't think this Summoner Monk is really going to get us anywhere, and I don't even think there are any synchros in here. But there is the 3rd Soul Exchange, which is crucial. Also another Zing Zen Who is great. We have our anti-backroad strat on lock. We also have another Toon World, and there might be our first Toon Dark Magician Girl. So Toon Dark Magician Girl may not be the strat this time around, now that I'm looking at it. All right, one last pack. We got 3 of possibly the best pack in the world, followed by possibly the worst one. Can we close it out with a bang? Just so good. Just so good at Yu-Gi-Oh! Who cares about the Geyser's triple Blackluster Soldier? We've got the trade-ins to facilitate it too. I don't know what our 8s look like to discard for trade-in, but if we have an excuse to run multiple trade-ins, this is a really good way for us to get stuff into the graveyard. I mean, I don't know what to say, folks. It's too easy. It is too easy.
Hack number 5. Oh man, the gold rares can just make us or break us. Come on. Oh, another Chaos Zork. It's not BLS, but you know what? We'll take it. Toon Table's the worst thing we could have pulled, honestly. And another Trap Stun, not the worst. And honestly, looking at the rest of this, I think hopefully we have 3 Soul Exchange. As long as we got 3 Soul Exchange, I think we should be okay, because that's sort of like some of our best removal. I'm really happy with this. This is, we got BLS, which is basically one of the best things we could have pulled in the gold rare slot. So let's get to building. I'm super pumped for this one.
Well, folks, I'm not really sure what I was supposed to do with this one. I got amazing pack luck. I will give it that. I got 3 BLS. I'm not sure how that could possibly be bad. I got a Morphing Jar, a Summoner Monk, a Raikou. These are all very good cards. And this deck looks awful. Mostly it's because there are no consistency tools in here. What I get in my opening hand is what I will expect to see. Short of things like Summoner Monk, which can get me to a light monster in something like Radiant Gerald pretty easily, and Morphing Jar, which may help me draw some extra cards, if I draw into that. Other than that, it's really tribute or be tributed here. We start off with our 3 BLS, of course, because this card is incredible, and I tend to destroy Alex with it. 1 Doom Caliber Knight. This card is very, very good into the dinky utility cards, things like Morphing Jar, Injection, Fairy Lily, Raikou itself, stuff like that. 3 Genesis Dragon to go with our 3 Whitehorn Dragon to be our tribute summonables. These cards are strong on their own. Whitehorned Dragon is good at gaining attack stats. It can be the biggest tribute summonable that we have available to us, and Genesis Dragon is a 2200 on its own, but more importantly has the ability to manipulate the graveyard to make sure that we get the right consistency of light and dark stuff in there. Next, we have 3 Injection Fairy Lily to add pressure without tribute summoning, 1 Morphing Jar as the closest thing we have to a consistency tool, 3 Prometheus. This card isn't terribly good, but it is good with Sword of Dark Rites, kind of, in that it can get over things like a Gerald using its effect, but more importantly, it's just a dark monster that we can put into the graveyard easily. Born to Die. 3 Radiant Gerald. This card is a 2000 defender, and that's pretty much all that matters about it. 1 Raikou, 1 Summoner Monk, 3 Whitehorn Dragon, 3 Maltiel, Sage of the Sky. This is like the last normal summonable we have. It kind of sucks that it's a light and not a dark. I would prefer to have more access to dark monsters than I already have, but say la vie, this can run over pretty much all the other normal summonables that aren't exactly Injection Fairy Lily and Radiant Gerald. Our spell trap lineup is pretty skimpy, but that's because the spell traps in here suck ass. We have 3 Graceful Dice to go with 3 Skull Dice as our combat tricks, 3 Soul Exchange. This card is going to be crucial in dealing with onboard threats and creating onboard threats of our own. Double Sword of Dark Rites. This is a way to make our dark monsters provide actual threats. It gives us a little bit of resilience, I guess, against Soul Exchange, in that it comes back to my hand to provide a threat more later. Next, we have 3 Skull Dice, 3 Trap Stun, and 1 Zing Zen Hu. I decided to go with Trap Stun and not Zing Zen Hu as our main item in here because it can be activated even if Alex is playing around Zing Zen Hu by not setting back row or by overloading on back row. Trap Stun pretty much deals with everything that isn't named exactly Graceful Dice. Our side deck is for nonsense, which is pretty much what I have to work with here. 2 more Zing Zen Hu in order to switch out in case Alex isn't playing effectively around Zing Zen Hu. 3 Deck Devastation Virus. This card is potentially extremely good depending on what Alex is on. 3 Toon World, 1 Toon Table of Contents, and 3 Toon Dark Magician Girl. This is an easier way for us to resolve deck dev, which I think is helpful. If we have Toon World plus Toon Dark Magician Girl plus deck dev plus any of our normal summonables, we can go Dark Magician Girl by sacking the monster and then use Dark Magician Girl as the tribute fodder for Deck Devastation Virus and deal with things that way. The way that I say that now, that actually sounds like a terrible idea. But 2 Dark Magician Girl is a very, very easy piece of pressure. Next, we have 1 Titanial, in case I want another tribute summonable that is neither light nor dark. She's 2800 and can negate things like a Raikou or a Chaos Sorcerer. She's very, very strong, and she is a target for trade-in, of which we have 2. Again, we are hurting for consistency tools. So if things are really, really bricking, these cards may come to my rescue. This deck is probably good.
All right, so this is as funny as this is going to get, so I am excited to play this. There are some cards I threw in here that are definitely very high-rolly, but if they pay off, then they're going to automatically win us the game, so that makes for good content. So I don't even know what to call this. You could call this Chaos, but that would be stretching the term Chaos very loosely. The only reason you would want to call it that is because we, of course, are playing BLS and double Chaos Sork that we happen to pull, and then everything else in the deck sort of centralizes around that. So we're unfortunately on 3 copies of Goddess of Whim, so it's between either playing this or Goddess with the Third Eye, which for all intents and purposes, these are both just light monsters for just facilitating the chaos strategy. Whim can actually get to a point where it can hit over things where Goddess with the Third Eye is never going to be able to most of the time. So I sort of like taking the 50-50 on this to clear something like a Meltiel or something like that we're facing down, but I don't know. I think this is just going to die no matter what, and it's just going to be chaos fodder, but we'll see. We're only on 1 spy because we only pulled 1, otherwise we'd pull multiples, but it's a 2k defender and it's dark. Good enough. Then we have 2 Injection Fairy Lily, which, funny enough, can out BLS, so that's funny that we actually have a native out to this card, but it's just good because it's just essentially removal at the cost of 2,000 life points, so it's good enough for this deck. We have 3 Meltiel. This is just a 1600 light monster. A Morphing Jar to refuel our hand. I am non-ironically playing Obelisk the Tormentor in this set, and the reason being is because if you can summon Obelisk, you actually 100% just win the game, because I don't think there's a conceivable out to Obelisk in the entire set. I think the only way I can figure out to out this card is your opponent would have to White Horn Dragon for 5, and then that way it would be up to 3,700 attack, and then they'd have to Skull Dice down the Obelisk and hit a 4 or higher, which is a 50% chance to reduce Obelisk down to 3,600, because Obelisk has the ability that neither player can target this card with card effects, which means it can't be BLS'd, it can't be Chaos Sorked, it can't be hit with Soul Exchange to tribute it for something else. So yes, it's heavy investment, but I genuinely think if we summon this, we absolutely just win the game, because there's nothing Robert can do to actually clear this monster, except for the very convoluted way I just mentioned earlier. Hopefully he doesn't figure that out. We have 3 Prometheus. Again, it's either you play this or like Versago the Destroyer, which even if you don't use Prometheus's effect, Prometheus is still 100 attack bigger than Versago, so it's better in that instance. Radiant Jural is actually a good card because it's a 2k defender and it's light. And the triple White Horn Dragon. So this goes with our 3 copies of Soul Exchange. This effectively acts as removal, but White Horn Dragon can just be kind of big. This, with enough spell cards, can actually hit over like a BLS. If you get exactly 3 spells, it goes up to 3,100, because 3 times 300 is 9, plus 22 is 3,100, so it just barely ekes out BLS. Just a generally decent card, so I'm happy to have it. That's it for the monsters, though. The spells, we have triple Graceful Dice. I guess there is a world where you could Graceful Dice the White Horn Dragon instead of Skull Dicing down the Obelisk. That also works as well, but again, that's still way too many steps that's ever going to happen. We have 1 Pot of Avarice. I could realistically have more of this, but I don't know if the games are going to last that long, but it is a draw too. And triple Soul Exchange, just because it's a very good card. It's one of the only real sources of removal that we have. And then for the traps, triple Robin Goblin. Robin Goblin's very scary because we have several 2k defenders, and 1 monster just losing in combat means that you're losing cards, which in sealed especially is devastating. So I like the idea of maxing out on this. Triple Skull Dice because it's another combat trick. Triple Trap Stun, or rather, excuse me, double Trap Stun, because we didn't pull 3 of it, honestly, but doubles Trap Stun is good enough to be able to stop all the other nonsense here. And double Zing Zen Hu to be able to lock all this down before it ever even has a chance to activate in the first place. That's it for the main deck. The extra deck is irrelevant, and the side deck we're probably not going to go into because I feel like our main deck is good enough. So we have Celestia and Lich Lord in here, but honestly, White Horn Dragon is just a better tribute. So unless we identify that just summoning big dudes is just generally good, I think it's okay to side these in, but the problem is they're just bait for Soul Exchange, so I don't know if it's good enough. I have more light targets with Goddess and more dark targets with Versago. Drago, but again, I think our counts are already good enough. Mormolith is removal, but at the same time, there's nothing that Mormolith really pairs with that it actually does anything effective. So if you sack itself, I don't even know if it can kill Prometheus. Oh, big deal. And Morphing Jar, it's anything with 1,000 or less defense. Goddess of Whim, I guess. But even if you pair it with the highest attack Earth monster in the set, which sadly I think is Wicked Worm Beast, because you can't tribute off of Fairy Lily when it's pumped because it's only during damage calc, then 1,400 still isn't good enough to really get over a lot of stuff. If there was like a good high attack monster that was Earth, it would probably be worth playing this, but I don't think this card's very good. We have Double Avarice. I might bring this in actually, depending on how long the games go. And Double Deck Dev, this could actually be relevant because we have enough monsters to facilitate it, especially if you bring in like the Lich Lords. Actually, 2,000 or more, yeah, so that's fine. And there's a lot of tiny stuff in these sets, but I don't know if 3 turns is enough to close out the game. I guess it could realistically be enough. It just depends if we can stick a monster, but we don't really have a way to get to something besides Lich Lord. So we'll have to see how it goes. I'm excited though, because Robert's gold pulls could be a lot different than mine, and that may have taken him in a different direction with his deck building. Let's see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not make you wait any longer. It's time to duel. Robert, my wife said something to me very demoralizing before we started this. I have not won an episode of this show since I got back from my honeymoon. And maybe, I don't know if I'm going to win a 5Ds episode before that, because this is the last chance I have to win a 5Ds episode. Because next episode, we're in Zexal, and hopefully that will turn my luck around. But you have just been on a tear lately, my friend.
What can I say? You used up all your luck getting married to Brittany. And I hope that I can close out my win streak in 5Ds.
Hopefully not. I would like to at least take 1 win off of you right before the end. I think that would at least do something for my confidence. So let's shout out the patron, Ochoa2001. Thank you for the support. And let's see if we can at least get... Okay, that's a good start.
Nuts.
Very good start. Very good start. I'm not sure how relevant it is for this particular set, but we will see. All right.
It could be. It really depends on the draw. I think the draw makes a huge difference this episode.
That makes a difference for every episode. Let's be honest. All right. Main one. Best of luck, buddy.
A whole hand.
This is a very funny hand. I'll say that. I'm going to... I don't even know where to start. This is this is so bad. I'm going to set 1 and pass. Shocker. I know.
I can't believe it. Normal summon Maltiel, Sage of the Sky. Let's go in and attack.
It was my Prometheus, you
Hell
fool.
yeah! Maltiel wins the day. It's your
That's like the only thing Maltiel's ever going to kill. All right, main phase 1. So there's the good play here, and then there's the very funny play here. And I don't know how confident I am for the funny play, but I'm kind of down just because I think it's just hilarious. So... I can't do it. It's so bad. Okay, I'm going to do the good play. I'm going to normal injection Fairy Lily.
Ooh, okay.
All right, we'll attack and we'll pump.
All right. That is A-okay. I will take 4...
You'll take 1,800.
1,800.
Yes, and that is the end of my turn. Go ahead.
Okay, draw for turn. Oh, hell yeah. Let's normal summon Doom Caliber Knight.
Whoa, that's actually a good card. Holy
yes,
shit.
it is. Let's attack. Would you like to pump your IFL?
So, okay, so here's an interesting dilemma here. I can kill your Doom Caliber if I pay 2,000 life points.
At the cost of 2,000 life points.
Which is a tempting proposition in this format, I'm not going to lie. But is it worth it? Okay, so here's the thing, Robert. I'm going to take 1,500 if I don't pump. So for an extra 5, if I get to take out the Doom Caliber Knight, that seems pretty good to me. I'm not gonna lie. I think I have to, honestly. I'll pay, sure.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yep, there goes Doom Cal.
All right, so then, you negate Fairy Lily, destroy it, and then Doom Cal goes as well.
Oh no, now you have the tempo.
I mean, for all the good that's going to do. Main phase 1. Once again, I can do the funny thing, or I can do the good thing. I'm going to do the good thing. I'm just going to set a pair and pass.
All right, draw for turn. We're going to go for it again. Multi-L 2.
Okay. Is this one going to connect?
It's attacking.
It is. It's Goddess of Whim.
I am waiting in eternal terror of Gerald, the 2,000 defender.
You should wait in eternal terror of this, buddy.
Oh, no! No!
Okay, so I need to do some math here. So this is 14. I hit you for the dome for 3. That's 4,400. Then that puts you down to what, 18, I believe, if my math is right. Fortunately, that doesn't kill you, but it's still just good enough, and it's very funny at the same time. So unfortunately, that's the cool thing. So we'll go battle. We'll attack.
I will take the 4,800, 4,600, 46. 4,400. I'm apparently terrible at subtraction tonight.
And then we will just go second main. I will set a mysterious card and throw it to you.
Draw for turn. Oh, off the top. Let's do it. Soul Exchange. Get that BLS out of here.
Yeah. What are you summoning?
Let's see. I'm thinking White Horned Dragon.
That's a good one. Sure.
It's a
Would you like to use that effect?
Do you have any spell cards in your graveyard?
Oh, it's your opponent's.
It is your opponent's graveyard. It's a terrible card. No, your go.
Okay. I will draw main 1. I wish that was better, I'll be honest. All right, how the hell do I clear White Horned Dragon, the McDonald's promo? 2200's big in this set, let's be real. I must strengthen my defense. I will pass.
All right, draw for turn. Oh, that's a pretty good one. Let's go to battle. I'm going to swing in over this face down monster.
It is Gravekeeper's Spy.
What the hell? Okay. Oh, damn. Now you have another light and a dark in your graveyard. Let's set a monster and a monstrous back row, and it's your go.
Interesting. Now you have a back row. Okay. We'll draw. Bear in mind that I didn't use the effect of my Gravekeeper's Spy. You can just ignore that.
I would have been shocked if you had activated it, let me tell you.
That would have been some serious gold rare luck if that were the case. So what do you... I mean, your sets could just be as equally as terrible as mine, let's be honest. I don't even know.
Gerald.
There could be, like, potentially something good. What are the back row in this set? It's fucking... There's Graceful Dice. There's Skull Dice. Trap Stun. Zing Zen Hu. I'm sure there's something important I'm forgetting, but yeah, that is what it is. I'm going to... It's probably just a 2K defender. Like, let's be real. I will normal my own Meltiel.
Oh.
Let's see if I'm correct.
Ryko, the Lightsworn Hunter.
Oh, nice.
And we'll declare it, and I'll target, what are you going to have? Honest? This face down.
All right, it is my Prometheus.
Okay. Now, this mill could absolutely destroy me. It did not absolutely destroy me. Okay.
All right. Interesting. Second main, very happy I did that because I do have Chaos Sorcerer.
Oh, are you kidding me? Chaos Sorc and BLS.
Yeah, I pulled them both in the same pack. Get rid of White Horned Dragon.
Oh, my God.
I do have a back row as well, and I will pass.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's...
Yo, let's go!
Oh, that went terribly for me. Well, I was doomed from the start of that. You got the Chaos Sorc BLS, and if you saw my hand, oh boy. I'll go first
based off that, I'm surprised you lasted that long.
I am also surprised I lasted that long. Draw for turn. Oh, that's so good. I couldn't imagine a better hand. The
fact you're playing Genesis Dragon, I think, tells me a lot about your deck. I'll just say that.
Let's set 2 back row and or a monster in a back row, and let's pass the turn.
I'll draw. Main 1, I like your play so much. I'm going to follow suit, except I've got 3 back row.
3 back row. Getting fancy now, aren't we? Draw for turn. That card is unusable in this hand. Okay. I will tribute...
That should be the name of the series. That card is unusable.
I will tribute Radiant Gerald for Genesis Dragon.
Yeah!
Let's go to battle and swing in.
I probably have to let this go, unfortunately. Yeah, it's Gravekeeper Spy, and to no one's surprise, I will not be activating
Major win for Genesis Dragon. Your go.
That's probably the best Genesis Dragon has ever been in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I have the opportunity to do something very funny here, but it's also a very bad play, so I don't know how I feel about it.
You're going to...
I'm going to be disciplined. I'm up a game. This is the best shot I've had in 2 months to take a match off of you. I'm just going to set and pass.
Crash a Gerald to get Chaos Sork.
Oh, it's much worse than that. Trust me.
God, I don't like the idea of putting a light in your grave potentially, but I think this is what I have to do. Let's go for Genesis Dragon attacking in.
It is Goddess of Whim.
Uh-oh, that is a light monster. Main phase 2. Sure.
Now you can see where the bad play
I am going to set 1, 2, 3, and
Holy
pass turn.
Shit. The whole hand. All right, I'll draw. Main one. I got the boy.
Of course you have him.
It's the smaller boy, though. It's the smaller boy. We'll banish.
Oh, sure.
We know that there exist combat tricks in this set, so unfortunately, I do have to play around that fact. As much as I would like to hit you for 100 whole life points. I don't really think there's much else I want to do, so I will just pass.
Okay, draw for turn. Nothing else I can do. Yeah, I think I have to do this. I will set a monster. Your go.
Okay, I've seen that you have Raikou, so even though you're like acting like, oh, I have to do this, at the same time, it's like, Raikou's Raikou.
Spoiler alert, it is worse than Raikou.
Oh, okay, well, we'll see when I attack if that's actually true or not. Yeah, let's get flippant. I'll bring out Goddess of Whim.
Oh, hell yeah, okay.
I will activate the effect.
All right.
I have to call it, yes. Okay, so heads always shred, so that's what we're gonna go for.
All right. Oh, of course.
Let's go! Chaos Sorcerer, get in there.
Oh, this is why I didn't like that.
Oh, shit, that's a good card.
Unfortunately, this requires me to discard BLS.
Oh, my God. Okay, well, you should feel happy. You got rid of my second chaos.
Hell yeah! Let's do it. There goes the jar. Right. Let's draw 5.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, this could get you out of the situation because Goddess of Whim's getting in, 19.
I will take 1900.
McDonald's coming in clutch. Second main, I will set a 4th card face down and pass the turn.
All right, draw for turn. That's hilarious.
I wish we could have played with pre-errata Goddess of Whim because then that would have just been the end of the game.
Oh, wait, shit, that's really good. That does something.
That's not how this is supposed to go. You're supposed to lose this.
Let's normal summon Doom Caliber Knight, and I will equip it with Sword of Dark Rites.
That puts him to 23. He matches the Chaos Sork.
That is true.
Would you like to give your Doom Cal a second Sword of Dark Rites?
I'm deciding if there's a thing I want to do here. I am going to Zing Zenhu, targeting the 2 back row closest to your deck, and if you'd like to swap columns for clarity, that is perfectly fine.
One across from Zing Zenhu and the one across from your Doom Cal for clarity. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to think here. So I can activate them in response before Zing Zenhu resolves.
That is correct. This is not Zing Zenhu Replica.
Yes, but Zing Zenhu Replica only hits 1 card anyway. This is tricky because I actually don't think there's a way to remove Zing Zenhu in this set, as far as I'm aware. So if I don't use these now, I actually just think they're iced for the rest of the game. So let's do it. I will chain a Graceful Dice.
Okay. Who are we targeting here?
It's all monsters. You don't target, my friend.
Oh, it's all monsters? Damn.
Yes, it's all monsters.
Okay.
It's not the anime. It's much worse than the anime because the anime it can like quadruple the attack, which is way better than this. But I will also chain a Skull Dice while we're at it as well. Okay. So let's get rolling. So the skull. Do you have anything here before I continue?
I don't have a response to your Skull Dice.
So we'll resolve. So Skull Dice is going to resolve first. This is going to drain the attack of your Doom Cal by the result. So we rolled a 3. So your Doom Cal is down by 6 or to 1600 now.
Okay.
And then we resolve Graceful. So I'm going to mark this in the chat too. So we rolled a 4. So all my monsters gain 400 while your Doom Cal loses 300.
Okay. That is not the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I think that this is the play. Let's swing into Goddess of Whim with Doom Cal.
Are we proceeding to the damage?
The damage step is okay.
I will activate an additional Skull Dice.
Ooh. Let's see. Does this work with the ability to do like priority things where if this resolves, I can do a thing after that as long as it can be done in the damage step?
Yes, I believe that we are allowed to we're in this phase, I think we are allowed to, like, one by one continue to activate effects until we decide to move on from that phase. And from this, you want to know how the outcome of this skull dice is why you're asking this.
I think so.
Okay. For clarity here, let's just write down that your Doom Cal has 1600.
So my Doom Cal lost 300, which put it to 1600, but it's still gaining 400 from Sword of Dark Rights.
Oh, correct. From the Sword of Deep-Seated. Okay. So it's actually at 2000.
Yeah. To your 1150?
My 1250.
Okay.
Okay. So we have some ground to make up here. So let's go ahead and roll the dice.
Okay.
Quite literally. Okay.
Okay, so that brings it up to, or that brings it down to
1500.
1500 to your 1250. Okay.
Yes. And I'm marking this in the chat so people can follow along.
That is acceptable.
Let's keep going, baby.
All right, show it to me.
All right. I need to
roll
I need a 3 or higher here. So I have a 66% chance that at the current state, my goddess will clear the Doom Cal.
Okay, here goes. No way.
Pro tag powers haven't failed me yet.
That puts it up to
1850.
Oh no.
All right, buddy.
I think I have to try for it.
Woo!
I need to get a 4 or higher for this to work.
50% chance here. 50% chance. No!
Hell yeah! Let's go!
Come on!
I have won the Dice Wars.
You have. Your 1 dice beat my 4. I don't know why I did this 4 for 1. This is awful. All right. It was funny, though. So your Doom Cal goes back up to 2100 to my 1850. This was very anime. So I'm going to take 250 here.
Yes.
Joey Wheeler would be proud, and my Goddess of Whim shall fall.
All right. Main phase 2, I am going to set a back row and pass to you.
We'll draw. Standby main. What do we do now? So I can't banish your Doom Cal because I will lose my Chaos Sork. So with that being the case, let's soul exchange the Doom Cal.
Yeah, that is unfortunate for me. There goes Doom Cal.
And here comes White Horn Dragon of my own.
And I will add my Sword of Dark Rights back to
So actually, I don't think you get the sword back. I looked into this. Let me see the sword if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So, okay. Sword of Dark Rights says, when the equipped monster is tributed and this... Oh, okay. No, never mind. So it's not worded the same way. So there is another card in this set, Lich Lord, King of the Underworld or whatever. He has to specifically be tributed by a card effect.
Yes.
Correct. With Soul Exchange, you're still tributing via game mechanics. So I wasn't sure if the sword worked the same way. So you're lucky because I could have gotten another card out of your graveyard. So I will banish your Graceful Dice.
Okay.
So we'll go up to 25. And unfortunately, that is the end of my turn because Soul Exchange prevents me from attacking. So go ahead, buddy.
Okay. Draw for turn. That's not ideal.
He's not liking this, folks. He is not liking this. I will draw. Main 1. I think I just want to put the screws on you, so let's do it. I'm going to run out Fairy Lily.
Ooh, not a fan.
Battle Chaos Sorkin.
I think that I have to let that go.
25.
2500.
And then I will attack anything on the attack deck.
Nothing on attack deck.
Okay, I will activate to pump.
Okay, that is fine.
Attack connects.
An attack does connect.
If you had that Sword of Dark Rights in your grave, I would have just won the game. But sadly, that was not the case. That is the end of my turn.
Draw
200 life points, Robert. Backs to the wall. Draw your last pathetic card.
Why does it have to be?
Admit defeat, buddy. Please. It's been 2 months.
Yeah, I got it. I have a Prometheus in my hand, but even with Sword of Dark Rights, it can't clear an IFL. So, okay, game 1, I had 6 tribute summonables in hand and 0 soul exchange. Game 2, 2 soul exchange, no tribute summonables. Oh my god.
Game 3?
Yeah, let's do the game 3.
All right, let's do it. Oh, it feels so good. Feels so good. Finally.
Has run out. I'm taking
I was letting you go first. I'm so
matter.
used to picking rock for Joseph. So you pick paper, or what did you pick?
Oh, I picked rock.
Okay, I will pick scissors then, so that way
Okay.
you get to go first.
All
here.
right.
I thought
will
after
go
I did that
first.
big -4 with all the dice that I was just going to lose because of my
You know,
incompetence, but it was funny.
Any of the cards in my hand were playable, that would have been what happened.
I will tell you right now,
let's draw
judging
for
by
turn.
my hand, this is the best shot you're going to have in these 3 games.
It's not a terrible hand that I opened with here. Let's set 3.
Okay.
And it is your go.
One card that makes this hand amazing, and that is not it. What am I really afraid of? I'm honestly just considering passing. What's the worst? Like, you tribute summon a dude? Like, I don't think I care, honestly. I'll just set one and pass. Go ahead.
Okie dokie. Let's draw for turn.
I'm going to Zing Zen Who your sets immediately.
Honestly, fine.
Okay.
Let's go IFL.
Ooh, okay, I guess this is the punish. Yep.
Battle phase. I'll attack in. I'll take 2,000 for you to take 34.
That seems like a fair exchange to me.
All right. Main phase 2. I will set a back row, and it is your go.
Fortunately, he drew another back row. That is quite annoying. Main 1. I think I'm pretty content setting 1, 2, and throwing it to you.
Okay. That is fine. Let's draw for turn. It's a pretty cool one. I will tribute summon
Summoner
Genesis
Monk.
Dragon.
Wow.
Pay no attention to the Summoner Monk in the graveyard.
That's a good
Battle
one.
phase. It's attacking with Genesis Dragon.
Unfortunately, it's good enough. It was my Gerald.
Hell yeah, getting rid of Gerald, and I'll attack directly for another 3,400.
I'm losing life points very quickly.
Your go.
All right, I am in a bit of trouble here. I will draw, and uh-oh.
There does come a point at which Injection Fairy Lily becomes kind of the biggest threat in the game.
Yes, and I feel like we are at that point. Yeah, you got it. My hand was double Soul Exchange. You turned off my Injection Fairy Lily because you got me down under the threshold. I had a Graceful Dice, which wasn't doing anything, and I drew a Gravekeeper Spy. So yeah, I mean, you had it. Nothing else I could do.
Okay, excellent. Good. Well, fat lot of good my pulls did me because I did indeed get 3 copies of
What?
Blackluster Soldier.
Oh my, well, thank God I didn't have to deal with that. All right.
It seems that the luck of the draw did make a major difference in this
Yeah.
one because I saw 1 Blackluster Soldier the entire match.
I did only have the 1, so it wasn't that. I pulled 2 Chaos Sorks in their stead, which, to be fair, they're like mini BLSs. But
It's pretty good too. And honestly, maybe better because
No.
dark targets are a little bit difficult to come by in this
no,
set.
BLS is infinitely better. Don't just
I
stop
mean, you have
talking.
to be able to see. This is the problem. This is why you think Chaos Emperor Dragon is a good card, is because you think that a card being good on its own makes it good, but you have to be able to summon the fucker first.
I had no
which
issue
was my
summoning
problem
my
with
It
BLS.
seems like you're talking for yourself, because I had 0 issue summoning my Chaos Monsters the entirety of our match, sir. So
That's true because you drew them.
all right, so 3 BLS is pretty insane. What else did you get?
Yeah. And then from there, it was pretty much what you already saw. The Morphing Jar, the Raikou, and the Summoner Monk, and the Doomcal.
It's pretty good overall.
That was pretty much it. Yeah, the pulls were excellent. The draws not so much.
So I did get the 5-headed dragon classic. We were never summoning him.
Absolutely.
I got, I'll save that for last, actually. So I managed to pull the double Chaos Sork. I pulled 1 Gravekeeper Spy. Very upset about that, because I think that would have actually been pretty good if you had 2 of it, but it's just impossible to pull 2.
For sure.
I also pulled 3 Pot of Avarice, which not very good when we're playing Chaos. And
True.
when the games are like as short as we expect them to be, not that great. So I only played 1 in the main. I too had a Morphing Jar. I just never really had the chance to play it. And I pulled what is arguably the funniest, but also objectively maybe the best card in the entire set. Obelisk the Tormentor.
What?
So this is no joke. If I summon this is an FTK because you can't target this thing with effects, so you can't soul exchange it, you can't BLS it, you can't chaos sork it. The only way you can actually kill Obelisk is if you have like a BLS or a pumped up white horn dragon and fire like I did 4 skull or graceful dice to change the attack value so dramatically that you can topple the tormentor. I'm like, this is the greatest thing imaginable to end the 5Ds era if I could summon this. And I will let you know, I had this in my hand game 1, but I was not, if I drew 1 soul exchange, I was dropping this motherfucker.
That's what you meant when you kept talking about the funny thing, wasn't it?
No,
Excellent.
The funny thing was just Goddess of Women hoping to hit so I could actually get over things. But this was the other funny thing that you were not aware of at the moment. But yes.
Incredible.
Yeah, like when I looked into it, I'm like, this thing's unkillable. This is amazing. The problem is actually summoning it. But I think this was a fitting farewell and a nice swan song for 5Ds, don't you think?
Absolutely. 5Ds completely lived up to the hype for Sealed Showdown. We had been excited for it through GX, and I thought for a little bit that maybe we were just a little biased against GX. But you know, in retrospect, 5Ds was incredible.
Yeah, I think this was probably the best era of this show between the 3 so far, like bar none. Like DM was good, it was not this good.
Well, I'm looking forward to Zexal because that's got some of my favorite sets ever in it.
Yeah, and honestly, looking at some of the cards we have to look forward to playing in not just that set, I'm thinking of the Generation Force, which is our next episode, but those sets all together, the power level of individual commons in the Zexal era starts to really show the level of power creep of Sealed Showdown, especially.
For sure.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout the patrons for all of their continued support. So shoutouts to Shout1317, Tim00x3, Moto, MBT Play Madolce, Cameron Smith, Tony Stark Part 2, The Synchro Guy, Dan the Manhoban, Phoenix the Immortal, I Ship MBT and Simo, Draconic Jordan Coons, Iron Bladesman, Jesse Wood, Chris Hood, Valen Jackson, Dylan Hunter, Cody Brett's Extremely Vulgar Man, Little Fadeleaf, Brody Eastwood, Carlos DT, Flannel Daddy, Hornet Indian Taisho, TC Gaming, thanks for the sleeves, Dad, Max Matthew Brady, Twinkle Muncher, Eater of Crayons, Luabon Yodabon, Helios 515, Simo's Chaos Cooking Draft, Simping for Simo, Cheeks McLapperty, Stolfin Amethyst, Dalton, LGMBTQ, Nim Noodle, Malabranch of the Burning Tunnels, Wonder Waffle, Skull Servant, and the Wandering Doomed or Boyfriends, MBT cancel by all community soon, cancel by all committee soon, cancel by all players soon, All Yus, Unis the Bus, The Undertaker versus Simo and MBT, Shrugs, Ix, the Crystal Beast Enthusiast, ITF, and Corvain. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.